And welcome in! Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having?
Oh, you guys know me by now. Some Tito's, some orange, some cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, tell me what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
I'm drinking my J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet, as per usual, as you like to say. Nikki, we got returns, we've got debuts, and we've got new champions. We're doing a very WWE heavy and very WWE specific show on Friday, November 21st, 2025. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's ready more. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. We've got a lot to get through. We got a lot of people coming in. If you are new here, smash the old Samoan spike on the like and subscribe. If you're a regular, you know we love having you. Nikki, you know we've got a couple regulars in the chat.
Oh.
Joho, saying you good evening.
Good
Joho.
evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Joho. Very, very
Formal.
formal.
Tip of the hat.
I wasn't saying professional. Josh, oh, here. What's up, fellow nerds? Yes, a lot to get to, Nikki,
Yes.
on the show. But first, a little fun to get through. We have to thank our friends at TCW. We had a blast at Mount Olympus this past Saturday doing the pre-show, the big show of the year for TCW. Nikki, the big news on the night, Tony Cheney,
Our boy.
friend of the show, is now unified triple champ. Tony 3 belts. So congratulations to him.
So deserved. Look at all the time.
Yes. And also, Nikki, he wasn't the only one. His love,
His love is beautiful, partner.
Fran Cheney, is now the goddess champion. She broke Amity LeVay's record of 500 and I believe it was 32 days as champion.
Banana pants.
So major upset at TCW Mount Olympus this past weekend. So, and if you weren't there, you missed a lot. But we'll catch you up on some of the highlights from last Saturday's Mount Olympus.
Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Somebody's gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get back. Ain't
my god! Stop. You didn't show me that picture.
Yeah, no, that was on Tony's Facebook. So yes.
Oh, I love them so much. They did a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, I know a lot.
A hot
So,
wrestling
Steven,
couple.
I will put in the chat the frame. So there's 2 feeds because StreamYard suggested 2 feeds. So we have one's a vertical, trying something out new tonight. One's a vertical, more of a mobile feed, and the other is the horizontal feed that we normally have on. So
It's also throwing me off too.
yeah. So
So
maybe not next time. Maybe the next stream.
Hey, listen now in the chat below. Do you watch this on your phone? Do you watch this on a laptop? Is it easier the vertical one?
Yeah.
Jehovah is also surprised at the song choices, but you know, I don't.
Yeah. Hey, it was all about the climb, and it's a harder version of the climb. I'm throwing out the covers to try and throw out the bat signal for Ed. See if he shows up. Kat, welcome.
Oh, DUPRI, I love that.
Welcome
Hi, Kat.
back in, Kat. We know you got the blog out. Hey, call-ins tonight. She made her debut last week, so.
I know, it's fantastic. Love more women on the show.
Yes. So speaking of shows, so we'll try it out for tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, AEW specific. We're previewing Full Gear live from New Jersey. We will be live from, well, technically
We
live from,
also will be live from New Jersey.
just not on site.
25 minutes away, or is it more than that?
30. Yeah. Yes, yeah, a little bit more.
I guess it would be quicker if like 7 to 8 wasn't terrible. But I digress. But yes, all your AEW goodness will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Exactly. And then we're going back next week. Next Friday's show is Survivor Series. So
That's
we're
going to be a big show. We want all your predictions, all the craziness. We're going to get to the craziness of Monday Night Raw in a little bit, but like save your Survivor Series theories for tomorrow.
I see what you
next
did
week.
there.
Exactly. Everyone do your best William Regal impression in Yellow Bull games. Love William Regal.
And then finally, Nikki, we are taking the show back on the road. Super Strong Pro Wrestling, December 7th. We're doing a pre-show live stream, 4 p.m., Mount Holly, New Jersey. So if you can make it, let us know. We expect to see you there. Kat can't make it next week, but she'll be at WrestleCade. Definitely let us know how that. Yeah, nice. I hear a lot of good things about WrestleCade.
Is that the one?
North Carolina.
Oh,
Because that's where Kat's from, North Carolina. That's what we learned last week. We learned something new.
We learn
every
something
week.
new every week on this show.
Exactly. But, Nikki,
Yes, sir.
we are getting a very WWE heavy show, so let's kick it off. But before we start, we're going to kick it to SmackDown. Someone who refereed on SmackDown, friend of the show, Jimmy Corderas.
This is former WWE referee, and you're watching the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. And if you're not watching, I'm going to come find you and disqualify you.
All right, Nikki.
Yes.
SmackDown from last week. We'll take it all the way back to last Friday, where there's a couple of takeaways to discuss. But the big news, in my opinion, we talked about it in the opening, debuts, new champions, but the big return, Zack Ryder. And we didn't have to pay a PLE price to see him. We got it for a free ride. Nikki, Zack Ryder returns. What are your thoughts on Zack Ryder's return?
I personally loved it. I know the floodgates kind of opened. And it was like, oh, Matt Cardona said Zack Ryder is dead. He said he killed him. But if you listen to comms, like Corey put him over like hardcore about like what he's been doing on the indies, like king of the indie death match and like all those other. I believe he pretty fun. I mean, this is last Friday after we went our longest podcast ever. Mentioned. I'm pretty sure he mentioned GCW. I don't know. I love it. It's just like it kind of. If you watched the. What do you want to talk about with Cody and KO? Like they talk about how all he wants to do is be back in WWE. And obviously his wife is their champion. I don't know. It was a fun, you know, this.
I love how he went for the Impaler or the Unprettier.
Unprettier, yeah.
And he hit that and like.
Shout outs to wifey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved it, and I think it's obviously him being in it makes sense. The history he did have with John Cena, his, you know, obviously his wife being there. I think it was a fun. And I think
Eve Torres should have been there.
Now he has Chelsea, but I feel
Sure.
like
But it should be funny.
LA Knight felt like an even match to me. Like we'll get to the other match on Raw, but like the surprise entrance, even though I thought it was gonna be Joe, I thought it was good. I thought it was a fun match. I'm excited for him. He said on his Major Bros podcast that like he has shirts now, and he did like kind of like a licensing deal, and I think. He might be one of the DLC characters or something in 2026 for the 2K16 that he'll be like a downloadable thing. But
Well, his whole gimmick too was that he was always like a lovable loser, like he never really won. So like I guess like part of me was like, oh, you know, we'd like to see someone win, like that's like a surprise in this tournament, but like he was not going to be that.
I think it's a fun little nostalgia pop.
Kath makes a good point. They know Zack Ryder more than Matt Cardona. Yeah, like, and I think that's the idea, right? Is that they're aiming for the audience, and if you're gonna try and have the John Cena history, you're not like Matt Cardona.
Yeah, but it's also a little weird. And then we can also say this about the other surprise opponent at Raw. He showed up on NXT as Matt Cardona, but I guess it's this weird is like NXT was not canon for Matt or Ziggy, but it's canon for Javon Evans. So it's like what they play as canon or Lash Legends, like what they play as canon and not canon, kind of.
Well, we'll get to Javon Evans and his Raw debut, but yeah, overall, I thought again it was a nice showing for him. You know, I know a lot of people thought maybe Joe Hendry would be here, but if you're looking for someone who's got history with John Cena, that made a lot of sense. And yeah, I'm like the right guy went over. At least from SmackDown from last week.
You want to talk about the wrong person going over, or did I ruin your segue? That's my own segue.
We still talking about SmackDown?
Yes.
Justice
for the Miz. I will say it out loud. That poor little pickle needed to have something with John Cena. A moment, a thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, they might still have an interaction, but it would be kind of late.
Jay Uso doesn't have a history with him. No, I just feel bad for the Miz, which is a crazy thing to say out loud, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He should have had something.
Yeah, because he did have a WrestleMania main event with him.
Yeah, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. You know, rock aside, but
he got the W, and he got a concussion in that match. I think.
And he doesn't remember the match at all. Poor little baby.
Unbelievable.
Main event, you don't remember it. Oh.
I know, the biggest moment of your career, and what a shame. But yeah, and then ultimately, the only other takeaway they have from, and this kind of bleeds into Raw because we're talking a lot about War Games, but
you don't have that as a drop. William Regal yelling War Games.
War Games. War Games.
Yeah.
I just feel like you could have used. Okay.
But well, so Drew McIntyre is now part of the War Games team for Paul Heyman. Any thoughts on just? We'll segue because that's the SmackDown part of it. Because that bookends SmackDown with Drew McIntyre and the Vision standing strong over Cody and Punk and then the rest.
I'm not mad at it. I think you can, at this point, you can plug and play Drew McIntyre kind of anywhere, and he seems credible and like a threat and a challenge. Like, I thought he was off going to film that movie with Henry Cavill, but I guess that's not there yet. So now he maybe just needed a week off. because then he was like suspended.
Yeah, it gives him something to do. It's just like, I don't know.
Maybe it's just because I really want him to have a match with Nick Aldis. And that's what I'm pushing for in my life. I don't know.
I don't know if Nick Aldis. Maybe.
He's younger than half.
I know, but they haven't wrestled.
Age.
But they haven't pulled the trigger on it.
He's 40.
Kat said Cavill's injured, so filming's been delayed. He's on the shelf.
I did hear that. I thought we were like circling back around to it being again the
Push back to January. Steven and Kat are going back and
my
forth with the
gosh.
movie knowledge. The two of you.
spin-off podcast.
Spin-off movie podcast. Of movie delays. It's what's it? New rock stars. They'll make their own. But yeah, so
I knew he got hurt. I just didn't think because wasn't that like in the summer? I thought I don't know. I guess it was just like they were just coming up with the excuse of like why would you suspend Drew? But I guess maybe he just needed a day off.
yeah.
Maybe someone's taking their days. I don't know what's that. What's that like?
I don't know. But Nikki, let's bleed it into Monday Night Raw. Let's take a quick commercial break and hear from our Fred Ottman, who will be on the Jericho Cruise coming up next year.
This is WWE Hall of Famer Fred Ottman, and you're watching Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Yeah.
Faces for so long. It sounded like you said our Fred, but I can't talk either.
Our friend Fred.
Our
Fred.
No, he said our friend.
But it was John Cena's final Monday Night Raw. Yeah, so we get to see this nice little moment with the 6-man tag with Rey Mysterio, basically all Hall of Famers, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, and John Cena against the Judgment Day. So, and then ultimately leading to one of my favorite fantasy players, Cam Scattaboo, getting into it with the Judgment Day and the Giants, the whole Giants.
The below back that Scattaboo got for sort of getting pushed in the shoulder is hysterical.
Unbelievable Giants fans. I know. Scattaboo's going to go. Watch him become a wrestler in like 6 years from now if it doesn't work out. But yeah, ultimately it was a fun little match that we saw between them. But any takeaways from that opening? I think to me it was getting John Cena a big potentially one last win in front of a big crowd.
Yeah, the big crowd, and then also having that, because again, he didn't get a match with Ray and has history with Ray, obviously has history with Sheamus. Sheamus took the belt off him. To have these moments with him, to do the 6-man tag, also like not, blowing him up completely. So this made total sense. Also, it gives a great rub to the Judgment Day that they was John Cena's last Raw match in Madison Square Garden. I think and all the beats of the Balor and the 5 knuckle shuffle, that all together, like, good nostalgia feels.
Steven's booking it. Scattaboo and Kittle, future WWE Tag Champ, and that is official.
Gronk being their manager. Remember they tried to make Gronk a thing?
Yeah, he did win the 24/7.
He won the 24/7,
yeah. So he did win the 24/7 title, but yeah. So ultimately, a fun little 6-man tag to kick off Monday Night Raw in John Cena's final Raw, and
they made the match the opening segment. The match wasn't. It was later. Didn't they circle back around to it?
No,
Yeah.
It was a long night. There was a lot, but it was all centered because it was John Cena's last Monday Night Raw. So that bled in to the mid card, which ended up being the last time is now tournament, and we saw the big return of Dolph.
Left to sell clothes. One works down by the coast. One had 2 kids but lives alone. One's brother overdosed. One's already on his 2nd wife. One's just barely getting by. But these people raised me, and I can't wait to go home. these old country lanes when we did not know the answers, and I miss the way you make me feel. And it's real when we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill.
Nikki, Dolph Ziggler returns on Monday Night Raw. What are your thoughts on Dolph Ziggler's return?
I loved it. I'm a little sad. I get why he's coming out as Dolph Ziggler, obviously. The pop that he got, fantastic. But also, he's part of the Nick Club, obviously.
Yeah, nickname it, yeah.
And Nick for life. But the pop that he got coming out, again, when I got, like, again, we always talk about, like, I had, like, a lull, and when I came back in, like, I really loved Dolph Ziggler. Him and AJ and Big E. I love that Big E was, like, gangs all here. He had the Money in the Bank. Like, I love it. But he was just the perfect plug-and-play person. It helps your relationship with TNA. He did yell out TNA when he was making his entrance. If you want to make Solo look like a killer, then you put in one of the best bumpers you have or can get your hands on. Because Dolph sold for him beautifully. Like, when he hit the spike and just dropped, like...
So he came out with an interview that he said someone told him, he's like, you got to stop bumping so hard because that's all you're going to do is job. And he's like, well, that's the thing. And he's just so great at it. And it just, like, every one of those moves, like, he does a super kick rel. He does so many great moves well and makes everyone look good. That, he was a perfect, plug play. Like, and when we talk about, like, him and Ryder returning... And like the surprise, and you want to see like someone go, because like the Royal Rumble, like like some big name returns, and you want to see them stay for a while because you haven't seen them in a while. Like, and you want to see like maybe one more match. For me, gives like let Dolph. It would have been interesting to let Dolph steal the victory here over Solo and get into another round.
But again, if you're trying to make the build back up the bloodline, because that's rumors. Excuse me, is that what they're trying to do? Is build Solo and that team back up. Because they like trademarked the title of Tribal Heir. And that's what they were originally calling Solo when they first brought him up from NXT. So if you're trying to build him back up, then give him one of the most floppy fish guys to make him look great.
Yeah.
And again, it's just like Ziggy is still signed with TNA. This is probably like unless he comes back for the Rumble, which I doubt, but I think this is probably a one and done thing. But again, it also has a history with Cena. And if you want to build up Solo, I think it was a great opponent. Great pop. I think it was a fun match.
Yeah. No, again, it was a great surprise. And I think, for him, like he's got the music and everything else. Like there wasn't many people that would have as big a pop there in this situation. It has a history too. And you got to tie it in with the history. So, and
it's also maybe like a thank you sort of to Ziggy of like kind of all the time you put into WWE, what he's doing with TNA, to have that be the mystery opponent at Madison Square Garden and get that pop.
Yeah.
Because again, like as much as I love Joe Hendry, like would he have gotten the same?
That's what I was thinking about too. I don't think he would have.
Like,
because he's not like Ziggler was a world champion. He was well known by the audience. Like Henry's getting
and
popular.
Also, I believe if Mikey was here, I know you'll correct me. Hopefully, maybe Steven. I think wasn't Raw was in like MSG proper, and then NXT the next night was in the theater. Because it was a smaller.
Yes, you're right.
I know they were definitely in the theater. I don't think Raw was in the proper MSG. So I don't think, as much as like I feel like the NXT kids love them, like obviously we do here. I think Ziggler was the right choice to put in there and made so look good.
True. So moving along, Nikki, Monday Night Raw came with a lot of surprises. That was the first of many. We finally have a new champion, and it's out of the ordinary. Maxxine DUPRI is breaking.
Gonna swing from the chandelier, and I'm gonna live like
Nikki, let's discuss.
Can I just say, I called this last week.
Hold on. Let me go full screen for you,
Oh,
so
God,
you could do. You could.
Don't do a full screen. No one needs this full screen. But I called it, and it happened. And then I know you have a thing on Monday, so you weren't watching live. But I messaged you about your manatees. Mama called it. And I love this for her so much. Like, the outpouring of everyone, like, our Chelsea that we adore on the show was, like, deserved, not surprised. Everyone's, like, hard work paid off. That, like, she puts, like, so much work and time and effort in trying to be good at this and, you know, proving people wrong. And I'm just, like, the outpouring of her, the message, all the photos of all the girls with her in the back, like. And then, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. WWE released a short of Otis and Tozawa watching in the back. Tozawa starts crying. Otis is crying. They hug each other, and I'm just like, oh my God. And they all post. It's just like, you know, like, hard work pays off. You pay your dues. I know she gets a lot of shit. I know she can be better and do all the things better. But I feel like, give her a chip on a chair. I say that to you all the time. Like, let her show you. Let her prove people wrong. Like, this is how you build new stars. As much as I love Becky Lynch, like,
See, the plans changed for the manatees too.
Oh, still.
But see, no, I get it. It's one of those, you know, you earned it. You put in the time. Hard work pays off, right? Like deserved. So, but like, I kind of agree with Joho here. She definitely put the effort in, but not sure it warranted beating Becky Lynch for the IC belt. Like, I again. You have the women's tag titles that you could put her in with Natty and, like, you know, give them something there. I get it, because this was by far her best match of her career, I think. But she's in there with Becky Lynch, and that's the whole thing, is that Becky Lynch is one of the best to ever do it. And it's not her saying it. It's Sports Illustrated, Bleacher Report, everybody else says it. So she's going to make her look good. And so, like, to me, the way like, I get the distraction and the way it went down, because that was another thing, is you do have it kind of, we didn't really, but AJ Lee does return to help her, so it kind of overshadows potentially a great moment for Maxxine. Like even the ending, the celebration is like, she runs out of the ring and, like, doesn't even take the belt. Like, she just runs to kind of, like, hug AJ, and it's almost like, all right, I get it. Like, that's a storyline. Like, I would have rather seen AJ and Becky duke it out for the women's IC belt, and let AJ take it over Becky if you want Becky to go home and be at home with Seth, because I know you're going to say that.
Well, can I play Devil's Avocado for a moment? Not that she's Becky Hogan. Do I have to explain that joke to you too?
Yes.
When she first debuted as Maxine DUPRI, LA Knight,
yeah.
They were siblings.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
That's what I thought. I thought that.
Steven, you ruined the joke last week. We're not gonna.
Well, you know how it is.
Anyway, playing Devil's Avocado. Not that she's Becky Hogan, but I think Becky's not going to drop the belt if she doesn't want to drop the belt. Or has an influence on who she loses it to. And also, if this is going to spin into, could you insert her into War Games? Could this feud be a feud with AJ going into Mania? Maybe they circle back around and Maxxine drops the belt back to her, or somehow drops it to AJ, and that goes into the program.
If you're trying to stretch it out, okay. If you're going to make her a transitional champion for like a month,
I hope
and do it that way, then okay. But like, to me, I don't know. It seems, I get it. She's been working hard and doing a great job, but like, I didn't love this booking. I thought it was just not the best timing for it. Unless you're just telling me that you're just going to send Becky home.
What would she need to do to make you believe her? If she came out and did like an Ilya Dragunov and be like, I'm going to do an IC Women's Open Challenge, and every week she beats someone. Not Ivy Nile comes out and your girl gets some TV time and she beats them.
I know they're probably going to do that. I bet you tonight it's gonna be like, oh, not tonight, but Monday is going to be like an Ivy Nile.
Yeah, like I don't know, what would she have to do
Well, no. It's
Also,
like,
maybe Becky wants, Seth is out. He's doing all the stuff on ESPN now. All of a sudden, he's on like game day for like Thanksgiving. Like maybe she does want some time off. She's like, I know what I can do. I'm giving the rub to Maxxine, and now I'm gonna go have Thanksgiving with my hot husband. I think she's earned the right. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's me giving Becky too much credit or.
So that's the other thing. So what? Now that we can do a post-mortem on it, what are your thoughts on Becky's actual title reign? And what has she done in the last 2.5, 3 months since winning it from Lyra, the inaugural?
I guess I don't want to say it's like two halves, but I can argue like both sides of it not being the best, but also being the best. Because I think I just really love Becky, and you can give her when she just when she just came out and she was like standing on the announce table and she was cutting the promo on New Mexico, and Wade had to move his microphone because he was laughing too hard. It's just like whatever she does, I believe is gold. Yeah. So it's just like, does she give this a little more prestige and then have Maxxine and Lyra go after it, or Maxxine and who put in the chat? Steven put Natty in. Have Natty come out. Also, if you didn't watch Natty's thing with Cody, that was amazing. Have her come out as like the Natty that we saw in NWA and Bloodsport to go after Maxxine. That'd be fun. And have amazing Natty chase Maxxine. I'm as much as I love Becky, we say this all the time. Like, I'm glad they're freshening things up again. Like, you got to get some stars in here. Becky's not going to do this forever.
So to me, I'm just talking about like, did she elevate anybody in this range? So I'm like looking at a cage match, just some of the wins since she's been in. So she won over
Lyra 7,000 times.
Yeah,
Bailey,
Lyra, Maxxine, Natty, Nikki Bella. And then eventually Maxxine. So she won it in
early summer.
Yeah. Yes. 7/6, July 6th. So she won July, August, September, October. So like almost 3.5 months. So yeah, overall, she's putting over Maxxine. Maxxine's the one who's getting put over in this. Yeah. But there really wasn't much to it. But yeah, it's just an interesting look back on.
I just Becky had to beat some people to get to where she is. It's just like again, if we're looking at this thing, it's time for them to put over a new crop of people. I think it's maybe different for Becky because they really, besides the Bella twins, there wasn't really an AJ, and I guess the women's roster was so different than what they were doing to put over this. I think if Becky and Charlotte and Alexa can be that crop of veteran women to put over the young crop, then let's do that. Isn't that the whole point of the John Cena tournament? And then what they announced in NXT, what they're doing for Deadline, it's like WWE's main scene is 40. As much as I love Seth and I love Cody and all that group, it's like we have to start pushing people. So you got to start somewhere. And is it going to be a little rough and ready? Yeah. Is it going to be a little sloppy? Probably. But John Cena wasn't great when he first came out. The Shield was weird when it first came out.
I'd rather Roxanne Perez have that title.
Yeah, and then have Roxanne chase Maxxine. You could have Roxanne, or you bring over down to Julie. Like you can do. There's a middle crop of women that we can start doing stuff with. Yeah, you got to make stars. But we had this booth here that we were, when Seth came in and Jon Moxley and Roman and that whole crop of kids like KO and Sammy. Now we're getting that way. It's just now you got to help the other babies up. You got to fucking start somewhere. It's gonna be sloppy and weird. It's gonna be, but you got to start somewhere. It's all the people that we love were not great when they started. And I think I'll get up my soapbox. You can.
Well, I don't know. Talking about people upcoming, we see the return of Gunta.
I know. I kept calling him Walter all week.
They were yelling at him Walter. And in the Last Time Is Now tournament, we see the Raw debut. I'm using air quotes. The Raw debut of Javon Evans. So we'll start with, I guess, your thoughts on Javon Evans' Raw debut.
Okay, we'll start with Javon. Honestly, I do want to give a shout out to Ed. What's in his head? I think Amanda said he was like working a lot. But he's the first one that brought him up on the podcast, and he was at that whatever indie that Ed always brings up that I always forget the initials for. But he was down there, came up to NXT, and he just like, oh, they renamed him Javon Evans, and I was like, oh, he's on NXT.
Oh yeah,
I'll make sure that
Ed loves it.
I'm not as close to NXT as I once was in the black and gold days, and I try to be it. We watch it on Tuesday, and I try to be, but I'm not.
Ed likes him so much, you would think his name is Javon Edmonds.
Oh God!
You see what I did there?
Yeah, it was terrible. And but he's been again. This is another young kid that I think in defeat bounces like your boy's bouncy. Sold his ass off, but he's like I don't even
saying you're not missing much. You're just watching.
I know, and that's why I really haven't been watching. I keep losing my train of thought. Anyway, but I think it's another kid because I think he's barely 21. I could be wrong, but I think he's a sweet young pickle baby. But this is also another person that I want to see for the next 10, 15 years and have him be champion and he'll be U.S. champion and do all the other things that, like, you know, again, the same reasons why I thought Ziggy was good for Solo is the same why Javon was great for Gunther. But again, I think I know he's running around with Leon Slater. I know they were kind of going after the tag belts, or they weren't going after the tag belts, or they lost. Didn't they just lose? I don't know. Someone will correct me, but I think he's also a kid that maybe post-Rumble or at Rumble, I think maybe going into Mania. I hope it's not post-Mania because that feels like too far away, but I think Javon's another young kid to watch.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, give me 1 second here. I'm going to take us out because I'm having some issues on this end. So
is it because you have this weird split screen and there's like literally 3?
No, there's always some technical difficulties at some point. So give me 30 seconds. I'm going to pop out of the stream and come back in. Nikki, you're gonna
hold the line.
Let's give it a try.
Love isn't always on time. Hold the line. Love isn't always on time.
Oh God, Jesus. I'm sorry. This is so close. Why is this so close?
Because the things get all there right now.
God, I'm so sorry.
We're just changing.
No one needs to see my face that close.
Yeah, exactly, Joe. But yes. So yeah. To me, again, he's flying around the ring. I know Ed has been a very big supporter of and proponent.
He's a young OG. I think again, does he need to get polished a little bit? I think obviously he talks like I'm pretty sure he's 19 or 20. And he talks like a 19-year-old kid, and you're like, but I don't know. I think he's great in the ring. Again, the same reason why I have Ziggy bump all day long, but I think Javon is someone that you can put on me. Again, bring up your young kids.
But ultimately, Gunther goes over.
Yes.
And what are your thoughts? I mean, no ring rust really for Gunther.
Well, I feel like you're missing, like, he came out old theme music. And if you fucking bring up Mercedes Moné to me, I will slap you. Every person that said that online this week needs to get slapped. I love this like silky little robe he's got on. I love the presentation of him coming back out. I was like, oh, I'm here. I'm into this. And again, I think it was a good match. I guess tapping out makes sense. Again, I think we've been saying on this Mero. I think.
Yeah, oh wow!
Like Mark Mero. No, don't do Gunther dirty like that.
That's a good
one. What do you say about this? No, I digress. I don't. You can read that. Reed said something about supporter quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. We were saying that we think Gunther's gonna win this. have him come be a killer. With the Goldberg thing, have him kill Cena too. I'm excited to see him back. I missed him. I think it's going to be a different presentation, obviously, because Ludwig Kaiser likes to go to Mexico sometimes. Apparently, his new girlfriend's down there, Skin in Bavaria.
Seems like Gunther be bad.
Stop. Can you imagine if, like, Johnny, like, Mark Mayer of WCW, Johnny B. Bad with, like, the headband and the hair and the, like, the eyeliner? Can you imagine doing that? Oh, my God.
Touché, Steven.
Oh, Stuart. Anyway, I'm excited for Gunther.
Yeah, no, I think this is a great opportunity for him. Again, and it looks like we're headed towards that Gunther John Cena potential showdown. But yeah, again, it was the main event wrestling wise for the night, but it wasn't the end of the night because Nikki, we have to talk about it. Well, I got the drop.
War Games!
Because there is more added to War Games. A couple more surprises. By the end of the night, we saw two major returns, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for War Games.
Whoa! Yeah! Absolutely! Whoa! Yeah! Absolutely! Say it again, y'all! Look out! Absolutely! Listen to me! Whoa!
Nikki, Brock Lesnar returns and joins the Visions War Games team. Thoughts on Lesnar in War Games?
I think all our regs know, if you're new here, I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar. I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar before all the grossness came out. And then all the grossness came out. And I really don't care for Brock Lesnar. I get he's an attraction. I get he's a big dude. But I'm like, I don't care. And also, why is he obsessed with that hat? He put it down so gingerly. Like, no one touched my hat. I don't know. Fuck Brock Lesnar.
He's all about his hat. But yeah, to me, this is very interesting. It reeks of. Sorry. Oh gosh, my layouts are all screwed up.
Can you just not do? Well, I guess
Let me just say that. Give me a second. But yeah, to me, it reeks of just trying to just throw stars into the match. What? What?
Oh, Steven, I love you.
What?
You wrote that's his lucky Cupid.
Like, yeah, Kat's making it, she's like Brock Lesnar, the wrestler, not Brock Lesnar, the person. She's so
I know, and I talk about this all the time, separating the art from the artist, and we talk about it with Logan Paul, we talk about it with Kate, we talk about it grossly with Vince McMahon. But even before the grossness, like if Brock Lesnar just wasn't my guy. Again, like I want my champion on TV. I want a rating defending, undisputed. You were never like I don't know. Brock Lesnar just when I got back just wasn't my dude.
Yeah, I just think he like the thing with Lesnar is it's kind of legitimacy to some extent. Like I hate it's because he was a UFC champion. Like he kicks everyone's ass. Like he just looks the part. Like he's once in a lifetime.
I get that he's a big bad. I get that he's been champion. I get he's done UFC. I get he's been in the NFL. I get he's done all these things. But to me, is my preference. I'm not putting that out on projecting on anybody else. To me, never was my guy. Shit came out. I don't want to fuck him. I get why he's there.
God.
Look at your little face.
These layouts are killing me right now.
Again, I get why he's there. I get why he's an attraction. It just doesn't do anything for me. But it's as gross as it is. But I'm like, I'm not gonna not watch and not support the other people that are good people in wrestling because I don't like him. So again, art versus artist, whatever. So I get why he's there. I get why. Oh my god, I get the Paul Heyman tie-in. I think it's interesting how he's going to work, if he's going to work at all. Can they still hear me talk? Am I just like rambling to myself about Brock Lesnar?
Possibly.
Thank you, love. At least I can ramble about Brock Lesnar to myself all day, but I get it, but it does nothing for me. It's the same when I say about AEW. The John Moxley Darby matches, I'm not a sicko. That type of wrestling, is like we said that last week. I love the women's war games, or the women's Blood and Blood match. The Darby, them spinning and licking each other does nothing for me. I get the appeal of it, but for me personally, Brock Lesnar can fucking kick rocks.
That's fair.
I'm gonna live this.
Yeah, trying to get everything back in. So then it leads us to ultimately we see the return of the tribal chief. I almost called him the thief, Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns comes back to save his cousins. So what are your thoughts on Roman Reigns also in War Games?
And then also, I don't know, to me, that picture that you're showing confirmed it. When Roman came out, I'm like, does he look smaller? I know Brock would obviously always be bigger than him, but I feel like he looks
I thought Roman looked
smaller. Like he's like is he like on the Gunter diet that you're getting speltier?
leaner, yeah.
He looks, maybe leaner is the better word than small, lean. I don't know. But he just had the movie where he's supposed to be Akuma. Isn't Akuma like a bigger dude? Like, it looked weird to me. But I get him coming to save Jimmy and Jay. Is this a war? Again, I want to maybe save more of this for next week. But there's so many, it's not I guess maybe it never really is. But no, because there's so many, like, the War Games with the whole bloodline going in together. Like, this feels like there's a lot of mess.
No, I agree with Reese. Like, he's like the Hollywood effect. Like, I think that's kind of what it is. It's like, he's saying the other thing. Sorry. He's in that Hollywood effect, like Batista.
Oh,
yeah, he leaned out because of Batista. Yeah.
Well, he was big for Guardians of the Galaxy, and then got smaller for whatever other role that he was going for. That's kind of why The Rock got.
Joe, it is Brock versus Roman, but like there's 4 other guys in the match, so there's gonna be everyone just taking a bunch of crazy bumps.
But I also agree with John that it does feel like Roman Brock 4000. I never, and that's maybe the other thing. That main event had 4,000 WrestleManias, and I never gave a shit about any of them. I don't know my guys.
That's fair. So ultimately, that's kind of what we're headed towards. Give me 1 second.
That's gonna be a WrestleMania match I'm gonna throw up.
No, I know.
6 in a million.
Even though it's a big piece.
But I'm not very close to the Street Fighter franchise remotely, but I thought he was playing Akuma, and I thought Akuma was like a bigger guy.
I don't.
But I could be completely.
Wait, is that the? I don't remember. I only played Street Fighter like very briefly.
I think he's like a new, not like like us being old 90s kids. I don't think he was in like our Street Fighters. I thought he was like in the
maybe.
We're not maybe like not our old, but not the new, like a middle. I could be completely wrong. Please correct me below.
I feel like this is a Reese question. Like I feel like Reese knows this.
But I don't know. So, do you have a graphic of what the teams look like now? But it's
No, I don't.
But then it's, if I can remember correctly. So basically, the bloodline. It's Jay, Jimmy, Roman, Punk, Cody. So you have your two champions, and then the bloodline versus Logan Paul, celebrity part-timer, Brock Lesnar part-timer, two guys that you should be building in the Brawns, and then Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Next year, can Survivor Series just be Survivor Series, and maybe let's put War Games to bed for a little bit? Remember when we put like Hell in a Cell to bed for like 2 years, and even though it was ruined for me, they had the great Hell in a Cell between Punk and Drew. Maybe maybe War Games needs to take a nap next year.
No, I
don't think
be opposed to that.
I just don't think it's too many little things that we have to shove into a big thing.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, Nikki. Well, let's put a bow on Monday Night Raw. Is there anything else you want to? Any other takeaways before we head to our SmackDown preview?
Reese, because I love you, I just have to shout out Nikki Bella attacking Stephanie Becker. And she also posted a picture of her and Dolph Ziggler. So it's like, oh, Nick Club forever. They're also Nick Club. Are we Nick Club 2.0 because they were dating before we were dating?
No.
Are they 2.0?
No.
Just love
They're 2.0, yes.
Nick on Nick action.
Moving on. All right, I'm going to throw the link in as we get ready to open up the phone lines because, Nikki, it is 5 minutes after. It's that hour, that witching hour.
Stop. Steven and I are the only people that watch Redstone Channel. You do not watch the Redstone Channel. Go act like you watch it.
I don't want to hear it. I'll boo you out of this building. Right out of this building.
As I die. As I lay down. Oh, that hurt. Anyway.
So.
Hit the music.
Oh, no. We still got a lot to get through. Let me throw to the chat. Throw the call-in link up here. It is in the description, but I will pin it to the chat so that everyone can have an easier time getting there. But Nikki, as we head towards SmackDown, here's what's listed. You got Big Bronson Reed taking on Carmelo Hayes.
Why? Are you ready to make me jump together? Do you have still your water or no?
I don't have water left.
You drank all that?
Yes, I drank all the water. I was hydrated.
Why are we having this again? Push your young baby. So I don't want to say why. So let's give them a little exhibition match in here for it. I take it back.
Yeah. And then the same time as now, tournament. Oh God, here we go. Penta and Finn Balor.
I think it's gonna be a fun match. I'm here for this match.
I think the winner faces Solo. I think it's Solo. I feel like Penta's winning.
There's no official bracket, and I want to see the bracket. Tony Khan would give me a bracket so I could read. No, because part of me is like, if Penta's not going to win, are you saving Penta for something? Could Finn take a loss? Were you pushing Finn? Like, you should push Finn, but neither of them have. Again, like, who... I don't know the bracketology. But the final, Finn Gunther, I'd rather see that. So if Finn beats, again, I think Penta should win, but would rather Finn win, but if the JD or the JD as a whole get involved, I think Finn Gunther would be a fun final. And do we know when the actual final is? Is that going to be, obviously it's before, it's not a Survivor, right? It's not a Survivor Series.
No, I think
it's a Raw.
It's probably
thing.
Raw in like 2 weeks.
The Raw before.
Steve said it better go at least half an hour.
I would love it to. Oh my god, that should have been Nikki's news.
What?
The first SmackDown of the year is going back to 3 hours.
Ugh.
And nobody wants that.
No.
Nobody needs it.
Yeah. Don't like it. And the only other last match on the listed card is Fraxium against DIY.
Which they're all circling Ilya for the, I almost said North American belt, for the US belt. He had a match with Frazier, and he had a match with Axiom, and then he had the match definitely, and then Tommaso's trying to get one, and they're all, I don't know. We need to switch up the tag teams on both brands. We need a little shake up. Or shuffle or draft or something.
Yeah. I could go for that. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but that's what's listed tonight, and then there's gonna have much more craziness with War Games, the men's and women's War Games.
So, and I guess that's my other thing, because last SmackDown, Charlotte's like, I don't trust Rhea, and then she came out
To help
Alexa, who she calls Lexi, and then Rhea was like, "Oh, hey AJ, I want to talk to you." Like, do we have our official 5-on-5 yet for the women yet? I'm assuming that's tonight.
Yeah, I think we might announce it tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We don't know yet. I don't know yet. But we'll see, Nikki.
And it was like the enemy of my enemies, my frenemies, my biffles, but we're not friends. Ugh.
But Nikki, it is that time.
Yes.
I need you to do me one favor, my little blondie. Hit your snare because the phone lines are open. All right, Nikki. Couple of regulars on the line. Ooh, eeny, meeny.
Money, hello.
That's a good one.
You're like,
How about this? Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, Joe. Joe out.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
What?
Hi guys, can you hear me?
I can,
Yeah.
yes, we can
There
hear
he is. Oh.
I can't hear you. Hang on. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm having technical difficulties too.
Everyone's
Yeah. So, the first question you should be asking me is, what am I drinking?
Yeah. What are you drinking? What are you thinking, Joe? We're trying to
You know
get
what?
all-
I'm so glad you asked, Nick, because I am drinking a beer that is brewed here in the United States, and it is very appropriate. My wife will say that is almost made for me. I am drinking something called Arrogant Bastard Ale. And while I showed you the can, I'm actually drinking it out of a Deadpool pint glass. So
Go fuck yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Maxxine deserved. She put a lot of work in. Maxxine, congratulations. You put the work in. The IC belt from Becky.
Mhm.
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, it's huge. It's huge for her. That's a great job. But the only great thing is I know this leaves a loose end between Becky and AJ.
Mhm.
Let's see. What else? Last Raw for John. Like I haven't been paying attention. My life has been absolutely nuts these last 2 or 3 weeks, so I haven't been keeping track of jack and shit. So I'm catching up. You guys are my wrestling news, as the rest of the world should be keeping up with you. Like, comment, subscribe.
He did the
Right,
thing.
he did the
Yeah.
thing.
Like, comment, subscribe on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. But yeah, we are actually getting down to the nitty gritty of what John's got one more appearance. What? Wow.
He's got Survivor Series and then this Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Saturday night main event. Who the hell booked that? Really? Like, you're the one of the top 5 names in wrestling history, and I'm sure I'm going to get shit for saying that, but at least top 5, probably top 10, and you're putting him on Saturday night main event as one of his last 2 shows. Okay.
Well, technically, if you look about the nostalgia, Saturday Night's Main Event technically has been around for 30, 40 years.
Is that where that wasn't his first match though, right? What was his first match on?
SmackDown.
Yeah, I knew Reese was going to call me out on that, and quite frankly, I don't care. But when you bring in, how much money has John drawn?
Yeah.
Now you might be talking Stone Cold Rock numbers. So, yeah, because that's what I'm talking about. What else? That was really it. Like I said, life's been crazy, and I haven't talked to you guys for a while, so I felt guilty not watching the last few weeks, and just wanted to come in and say hello and wish you a happy Thanksgiving. So,
same to you. Oh, always a pleasure.
Give her love. I love her immensely.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we all
cheers. Oh, I think he dropped off too. Hey, Joe. Nikki, so Joho ended that call talking about.
How dare you? The two of you.
The 2 of you.
Whatever. I'll just message Lisa and tell her how much I love her myself.
But Joe ended that call saying that he missed us, and there's people that we haven't seen him in a while, and there's someone backstage, a regular we haven't seen in a while. So let's bring him on. Our friend from the Iconic Wrestling Podcast. He brings the sex appeal to this show. Mikey, Magic Mikey.
Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, be iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
Mikey!
Hi.
What's the story?
It's definitely been a while. It's been a hot minute. But yeah, so I'm not one to start drama, right? So I can see where because I do want to talk about Maxxine real quick, right? So I completely understand where people are coming from, and I'm going to be completely honest. Were there other women on the main roster that could have taken the belt for Becky? Yeah, probably. But I think, and again, I don't want to assume for anyone else, but I don't have a big issue with it, only because I feel that this isn't the first time that Becky has done something like this. Maybe first time on the main roster, but not necessarily within the last 2 years, because if everyone remembers correctly, the three of us that watch NXT. She did this with Lyra too when Lyra was in NXT because and to also I feel like people tend to forget too is that Becky also did this even though it wasn't for a championship. People forgot that Becky also did this with Tiffany when she was in NXT at No Mercy in that, you know, No Mercy match that they had, basically no DQ. Again, I think that Maxxine still needs to improve on certain things, and I think that will come with time. But what I appreciate it because Becky was like, yeah, okay, I'll lose it. But then again, like the previous caller said, it frees up Becky so she and AJ can feud for a little bit. My only big concern would be who Maxxine would end up facing in her first, like, quote unquote feud. And personally, I kind of want her to reignite to the, you know, that feud that she has with Ivy. I think Ivy and Maxxine could be a really fun first feud.
Yeah, Ivy Nile.
Niggas
My
all
girl,
know.
Ivy Nile. But then she did a job out. Unbelievable.
Yeah, because there's already established history between the two of them when they were all in, you know, Alpha Academy together in some capacity. And honestly, I think it would be a really fun one. They've worked with each other before. They know each other. And plus, selfishly, I want to get Ivy back on television because I miss her dearly.
Same. So, no, actually, you know, to me, you could sell me on if you're telling me that you're giving me her a feud, like a 2-month program with Ivy Nile, and then, which of course she's going to get over on, and then, you know, Natty comes in and like a heel Natty, and the next 3 months is that okay? If she puts together a good showing, a couple and good matches, yeah, like you could sell me on like you earned it and you should have been the champion. But if you don't, like I don't know that program you could sell me on because the built-in history. But I just don't want it to be like random jobbers or just random women that she shouldn't necessarily be in, just like sloppy matches.
No, I 100% agree. And my biggest concern though is because of how great the moment was, especially if you heard that crowd when she won that title for her. My only big concern with it is, you know, again, I don't think that too many championships is a bad thing, but I still have the bad taste of Julia's United States Championship run in my mouth. And so my big fear is that they will do the same thing with Maxxine before they can get it over on a more established star. And so, which, you know, brings up the question again, why did you pull the trigger on mid-card women's belts if you had no plan to whatsoever of how you were going to do it?
But sure, yeah, like that's what I worried about because like they have the roster to do it, but then you have the women's tag titles that are like kind of lost in the shuffle. But right now, I'd probably argue that I don't know. I don't know if I could argue for or against that the women's tag titles are being booked better than the women's mid-card titles. Like if you told me the women's US title, like prior to like the Chelsea win last week, in the last whatever 6 months or since its inauguration versus the last 6 months of the women's tag titles, women's tag titles definitely been getting more exposure and booked at least better.
Yeah, because you have Charlotte Flair holding your tag titles. Like you're gonna put Charlotte Flair on your TV when maybe Julia not being maybe the more well-known star, you're going to put Charlotte on TV more.
Which is very true. Again, at the same time, I'm like, this is Julia. Again, for those of us who've been following, you know, her Joshi career in Japan, we all know she can go. Like, she can go really, really well. But the problem is that we didn't do anything for her.
That's true. That's true.
And I think the one thing that the women's tag titles do have a little bit of leg up, so to speak, is because the way that it's touted now is that it travels across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, as we saw them on when we went to Homecoming for NXT about a month and a half ago. I wish they would go down to NXT more and have crazy matches because I think that women's roster in NXT is deep enough where you can do some short-term feuds. Or even have the NXT girls come on over to main roster like we have, like with the tournament. We have Devon coming over. We showcase the NXT crowd Now, of course, we have storyline, but at the same time, like we had Zarya and Soul, you know, have a match on SmackDown. Blake Monroe has appeared on SmackDown. It's very weird watching, you know, main roster and NXT interact because, of course, main roster ends up calling up the NXT kids to come on up to main roster when that's the case. But yeah, I feel that as much as I enjoy the NXT talent that come on over to main roster once in a while, I think that's a testament to how creative on main roster is kind of floundering right now, figuring out what to do with the current roster, that you have to bring up the quote unquote the youngins up to showcase them in front of the crowd, which is great, and I love that, and exposes NXT more, which because I need people to watch it because it's amazing. But it's been a constant thing this year where you have such a talented roster and you have a deep roster on main roster, and you don't have to do story feuds that have to do with championships. I think WWE this year has been having a hard time creating feuds that don't revolve around the title, and that's a double-edged sword where we have enough titles where almost every story can be for a championship. It's just that we're kind of running, and to use a sports analogy, you're running the same playbook over and over and over again. And I feel that fans are starting to catch on and like, can we figure something else new to do?
Yeah, that's why.
So
I was gonna say, Reese kind of said in the chat.
Well, he's got a question in the chat that he wants to throw out there.
Alluding to that, but I'm like, we need to like do. I said it before, like a shakeup or a draft or something. Like, we need to swap some people around.
So Reese's thought, and we'll throw this out there everybody here. Would you consider talent versus talent spot on the line, Matt? Basically, NXT versus Raw or SmackDown talent. If the NXT talent wins, they replace the main roster talent.
Yeah, like things need to be switched up. I like that idea a lot, Reese. But Mike, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I would love to see that, and that's kind of, well, unfortunately, it's kind of the same thing that WWE Evolve is doing. Yes, I watch Evolve. Don't at me. What Evolve has been doing, there's again, people are seeing it as a type of punishment, but you have some of these NXT and some of the lesser used main roster talent be on WWE Evolve, and they're working with the Evolve talent, and it's been really working. It's been really fun. So I feel that if you're gonna do that, do the same thing with NXT. And I feel that maybe not even a line online where, you know, you swap places and main roster goes down to NXT. But I feel that if you have people on NXT and on main roster that you want to switch ever so often, you can use it as a litmus test to see how the NXT talent goes over on main roster. And then if you want to swap them back, figure out, okay, this is what works, that what doesn't. And then in NXT at the Performance Center with Sean and all of them, they can get those things that are doing. The problem is that when NXT talent gets called up to main roster, and we have seen is that usually what's made their character great or whatnot usually either goes out the window or we completely forget about it.
Yeah,
it's been less of a problem now that we are in a different age of who's running the show, but even still, like for instance, I'm glad we're finally seeing Fraxium on, you know, television, but I'm just like, I know the Wyatt Six are a big thing and is important, but I'm gonna be for real. Like we could have had a short, like 2-3 month stint with Fraxium being the tag champs because they're amazing. And honestly, what they showed us in NXT, they can't have a bad match with anyone. So it's just,
they are very good. Mikey, we want to. I know I'm reminded. Last week we were like, "Where's Mikey?" We were talking about this because Nikki's news was Chavo Guerrero is coming back to WWE to work with AAA, and we were like, "We need to know what Mikey's thoughts are on this."
Yes. Yeah, one of the things.
I mean, well, you had another one, but that's the one I'm remembering right now.
You know, the craziest thing is that, well, first with Chavo going to help with AAA, I think that's a good thing. Obviously, you want actual Latin talent to be working with Latin talent because they know how to book and tell the stories down there. Of course, AAA has been around forever, so it's kind of has its own system going. This is probably going to get me it can probably get me in trouble, but like, even though the AAA shows are, well, the legal means of watching the AAA shows are few and far in between, I kind of dig the AAA shows better than main roster right now, but I think that's because the talent has its own characters and it has its own worlds. And the fact that you have Grande Americano Latte is what I call him, and his stooges be so over in Mexico is crazy to me. And I'm just like, if you put that same amount of effort when they are here in the States, like, stupid wrestling needs to be stupid wrestling, and we need to have fun with it.
Mhm.
And I feel that that's what main roster is missing for me, is that we have good matches, we have fun characters, but there's not a lot of fun. Sometimes we just need storylines. Like, that's what we need.
Give me some Danhausen in WWE. Like,
You're Mr. Iguana.
Yeah, like, because like Santino Marella did it with the Cobra, like, basically.
Mr. Sacco.
But that's what I'm saying. NXT is not afraid to do that. Literally at Halloween Havoc, we had Javon and, our TNA X Division champion Leon Slater team up against La Parka and Mr. Iguana. It was ridiculous. The match was crazy, but it was fun. And I feel that, I don't know if it's the entirety of the creative team for NXT or this comes from Shawn Michaels, but that's why I've been enjoying NXT this whole entire year more than main roster, is because it's fun. And, they throw things at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what he said when it was on Maine, when it was the AJ Dom, when they had that, like, Eddie Guerrero tribute match. Like, that was so fun. And then AJ John Cena, I was like, let's just have some fun sometimes.
Yeah.
And like that's like when Dom AJ, whatever PLE that was, I was like, that was so different than anything else. I was like, oh, I just want to see some people having fun sometimes. So I agree with you so much.
Yeah, like Cena's stuff has been so much fun to watch too. Like, yeah, a lot. Mikey, what is your last shot, and let everyone know where they can find you?
My last shot is despite me having some opinions, wrestling needs to be fun. And I feel like if you're not enjoying yourself while watching wrestling, then I recommend diversifying your portfolio and watching lots of other things, whether it's other major feds or, smaller independents, because there is something out there for everyone. And you should have fun while watching, because no one wants to be miserable when they watch wrestling.
Exactly. There is something. That's a great point, Mike. That's what I love. Positivity. Mikey, tell everyone where they can find your great positivity on wrestling.
Well, you can find our great positivity, even though we have questions about certain choices that have been made, like we will talk about tonight. But you can find me at BC WrestlePod all over the YouTubes, the Twitch, the Kicks, the social medias, where it is a bunch of us talking about wrestling and that we love and cry and hate about it sometimes. Let's be that. You can catch me at 7:30 p.m. tonight, as I will be with the TNA crew to be, going over TNA's Turning Point. Oh, TNA, I love you, but you can't help yourselves. No, for a whole month without no tapings, and then the first episode we got last week, you have Mike Santana loses championship.
I think that's what I want. I think that's also another thing that we were talking about TNA. I was like, this is where or I think we were talking about it with Brace too. Oh, feelings about feelings. But
and then, of course, jam-packed weekend leading into Thanksgiving week. Full gear watch along tomorrow. Wrapping up, Raw and SmackDown on Sunday, and doing Survivor Series predictions, because your boy is going to be in the crowd. I'm excited to be going.
Yes!
Mikey, I am excited for you. You're like, and you better call in Friday and Sunday, especially for the live stream, because we want to hear the live report.
Or man on the street.
Yeah, man on the street.
If I am home in time, I definitely will be.
Absolutely, sir. Well, Mikey, pleasure as always seeing you.
It's a pleasure. Gentlemen. Thank you for having me, as always.
Always a pleasure, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, Magic Mike.
Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, be iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
We got returns. We said it's a big week. Debuts, returns. Last week we had a debut, Kat. This week we got returns. We got it all.
I love you. I know you're crazy busy with work and stuff, so thanks for popping by. I'm jealous you're going to be at Survivor Series.
Exactly.
I know all the deets.
I know. Mikey's gonna. Last time he was. What was the last time he was at? was in San Diego and he sent us pictures for that.
No, didn't he do the back-to-back?
Money in the Bank?
It
Was
was
it Money in the
like the Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And yes,
I don't know how you did that.
our
but
California
touche.
World Traveler. My
Touche.
we love ya.
Seriously. For the love of the game and love of wrestling.
Seriously, but I agree. You got to find the fun stuff.
Mm.
I do love this. I guess that's wrestling has that for everyone. Whatever you kind of want. If you're sickly, you got that. If you want the fun stuff, you have that. If you want your techies and your flippy doos, and there's like wrestling can be so much things, but like I think sometimes we forget this is supposed to be fun and not the keyboard warriors.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. Actually, if you want to be more of this, it goes in the hardcore stuff. Tomorrow we got full gear that we're discussing. So I'm excited for that as well. So call-in show 4 p.m. Eastern. We hope to see you all there. But Nikki,
yes,
we got our friend from overseas coming in. There's a storm of brewing, and it's got a little bit of Reese lightning. I may have to add Jade Cargill's opening to your intro.
Coming in and goes into Grease Lightning.
Reese, I'm telling you right now, Jade Cargill's making an appearance in your intro.
You're going from top level to Jade Cargill.
You need like a photo of like Reese like eating his hand like she does. Oh my god, that'd be hysterical.
I mean,
just give me the spot right now, quick.
Quick, put your hand.
Wait, what you want?
Do the Jade Cargill.
Do the Jade Cargill lick. Do the thing. Pure pressure, pure pressure.
Well, the thing that she does with her hand. What the thing she does with her hand.
He doesn't want to do the thing.
No.
I'm just
He
asking.
doesn't want to do that. He doesn't give the crowd what they want.
How's it? I can't remember how she does it. She's mid. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'll be generous.
He's actually looking it up.
Doing that thing.
He's doing it.
That's why we love you.
Yeah, this is where he's going.
It's cause she's so mid. That's
She
why.
just licks her hand. It's not that complex.
Just sexually.
I mean, to be fair, I've got more appeal. Oh, that thing.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. Ready? No.
Fuck that.
Oh.
And then next
Boo.
week. No, that's the other. That's
Yeah, no, not that one. No, she does the
That's
like after
that's
she wins.
Mar-
like,
that's
she
Maurice.
wins, like does a cat.
you like here.
I'll send you what we want.
Yes,
And
we'll,
then
I-
we'll want to read it
we'll
out.
do it in the Discord. We'll figure it out.
I'm only generous once a year, and that was Halloween.
Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. The holidays are coming.
If you
Anyway.
expect, I mean, Nikki suits the shirt better than the person who's actually meant to be about. I am not praising that clown ever again.
What?
Wait, who?
Are we talking about my Joe Hendry shirt?
Aye, he's a clown.
Ooh.
We just said we love fun wrestling.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about him as a wrestler. I'm talking about the actual human being. He's a clown.
Joe Hendry, the human.
Is it the clown?
Let's just say.
Racing. What's up, Racing?
What's up, Roshan? No, somebody that I work with trained with Joe Hendry when he went to the Commonwealth Games, and he was an absolute dickhead to him. So there's one for Joe.
I still think that like
Dickhead.
I'm still a believer that he like is a mid at best, like a mid card talent in WWE. Because I just don't think
Lower.
Yeah, like I
He's
get
like-
it. It's Poppy.
He's R-Truth and Santino Marella. He's bottom of the pile.
We just said we love fun stuff in wrestling. I want to turn around, punch the camera, and clap sometimes. Sometimes I'm simple sometimes.
Yeah, but at least
Like,
when you,
start talking
at
about
least
it.
for
Simple
your-
most of the time.
at least for
Sometimes.
yourself, at least it stands out when he does it. I just want to say, Fia Hale.
I don't like the.
That's what I'm saying. I do not like the.
It's been overdone. See, the problem is, and this is not really his fault, but his gimmick was fine for so long, and then he became so much with it, and it just he became more of a meme than somebody you could buy into, and that's why a lot of people have went off him. A lot of people just don't care. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm like
the sketches, like they're fun, like the American Pie skit and like all that stuff. Like it's amazing, but like to me, like it's similar. Like that's why I love that stuff. I enjoy it, but it's a mid card. Like that's why I love to see like Danhausen in WWE because I think Danhausen is the perfect type of guy. Like again, it fits. Like having to do backstage segment, maybe a match here or there every 3 weeks. Perfect.
No, I've said that before. Like I agree. I actually think Danhausen is better suited to WWE. It's not that Danhausen sucks or anything. Danhausen's actually all right. It's just Danhausen doesn't fit in AEW, and
no, not at all.
And that's not a negative on him. That's not a negative. It's people fit elsewhere, and people have their natural habitats. So, like Jey Uso, for example, his natural habitat is DUIs. So that works. Bill Goldberg is non-existent. That's his habitat. But there's mannerisms, like everyone has a place to be. And I think Danhausen is there. So I think Danhausen is right for WWE. And I think when I look in a logical perspective, this might upset a few people, but Ilya Dragunov is far more suited in AEW than he is WWE.
Oh, 100%. That Reese, you and I couldn't agree more. Because AEW is geared towards more wrestling than WWE.
It's basically 80s NWA versus like 80s WWE. Like you look at the professional wrestler versus the entertainer, and that's natural. So I agree with you. I think some wrestlers are just, that's how I always base a talent on, even though it's certain decades ago. I always look at the mold of one type versus the other. So and that's just natural for me. That's how I base it on. So if I did a swap tomorrow, I'd swap Dragunov for Danhausen tomorrow, and it wouldn't be a bad trade for either company. It would actually be an accurate swap. Or to be honest, even another one I think actually makes sense because people are obsessed with him. I would honestly swap either Jericho or Copeland for Finn Balor. I'd let Prince Devitt revamp himself in AEW, let him have a run. And I'd do the same for AJ Styles because I miss prime Styles like that. So I would do a double swap.
I'd also swap out, who would be really good in WWE? And I don't know who I'd swap her for.
Wardlow?
Harley Cameron.
I get you, but I don't know.
She's an entertainer. She can do it really well. She can improve. They can send her to NXT and let her improve in the ring.
But she's worked so well on her in-ring craft. I feel like she's the opposite to it. I see your thinking, but I think she's too good for WWE in terms of what she is. I think she's too good.
No,
then AEW's not giving her.
I agree.
She's in a prominent role. Sorry, Nick. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, Harley Cameron's actually in a prominent role. She's always on TV, so she does get an opportunity. She's forced her way in. Now you can go, Nikki. Sorry, I didn't.
No, I was gonna agree with you. I love Harley Cameron in AEW. I think she's where she needs to be. It came out was it yesterday or this morning that Anna Jay apparently her contract is coming out. I think you can make it. I don't know. They're not doing great with Monroe. So would Anna Jay be the same? I don't know. I would rather, if I had to pick between Harley.
Does that mean Jack Perry comes too?
No, they broke up.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. If I mean, between Harley Cameron and Anna Jay in AEW, I would pick Harley. I think Harley's fun.
Yeah. I agree. I think the problem with Anna Jay as well is Anna Jay had her injury, then she went to Stardom to recover and come back from it, and since then
they did nothing but capitalize.
She got what she wanted as well. the tag titles were brought in. And I'm like, she was one of the first few teams I thought were going to, like, I'd have thought would have won it, Ty J or the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And I'm like, that's your final right there because it makes sense. And then you don't go with Ty J. So I'm like, if Anna J leaves, and I actually like that she does AEW and Stardom and she does Japan. If she does leave, I will say as an honest fan, like there's times where I do show a little bit biased, but I also show incredible levels of criticism. I will say if Anna J goes to WWE but fails, I still blame AEW and Tony Khan because Anna J is she's been in AEW for 5-6 years and she's barely being used. And I'm like, she went to Stardom, became even better. Ty Conti returns from taking time out, being a mum, completely valid. And you'd think right there, AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, and you've respectfully. I know Megan Bain's brilliant. Marina Shafir's doing really well. Timeless Tony Storm is just going to turn heel on Mina Shirakawa anyway and become tortured Tony Storm. Oh yeah, she'll turn heel.
Ooh, Reese, you better call in. Tomorrow's show is going to be fun and saucy.
Tortured Tony Storm is coming eventually. It will come.
We'll discuss.
But I think personally that if Anna J ends up leaving, I personally think AEW has dropped the ball. And people can come at me like that. I'm cool with that. There's times where you need to criticize a promotion, and that is one of those examples where I will criticize them because it's an original. And if you do your originals dirty like that, then what the hell?
Yeah, like when she came out with like Brody and was like his about 90. What do they call her? Was she 99?
99, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she like was like tapping out Brandy. And she was the Queen Slayer, and like again, obviously we lost Brody, and yeah, I'm talking about Brody. But like I just feel like Brody saw so much in her, and it's just like they did a little bit like obviously the Dark Order kind of fell apart after Brody, but it's just like there's so much potential there that I feel like they're not, and especially her coming injured, getting the back and doing Stardom. I feel like she could be a big deal. And honestly, between her and Blake, maybe I think there's more potential in Anna. I don't.
The weird thing as well, though, I seen something the other day that I haven't actually brought up on. I didn't even bring up on my own stream because it only just came to my mind now because we're talking about it and it's mental.
Breaking news from Reese. Love it.
I saw something the other day, and I don't know how people can blame this. I saw people blaming Chris Jericho for Anna J not getting anywhere. I was like, he personally brought her into the inner circle. He brought her into it, so how is it his fault? And I'm like, how can you blame Chris Jericho? If anything, Chris Jericho made Anna J a star.
Was that when she was with Jack? I'm trying to remember.
That's when her and Jack Perry were like, well, it was more or less in the young period of them together, but it was when it was Anna J and Jack against Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara. And then she bounced to the inner circle, which was the best move. But I've seen people recently blame Jericho for this, and I'm like, how can you blame Jericho? If anything, Jericho got the original inner circle correct. The problem is it became too much. And then obviously the Jericho Appreciation Society was fine, but then obviously the Learning Tree, which we're not going to get into. But
you know Jericho.
You just made the list.
I love Jericho. I actually, we had like random things in our prediction show tonight, but we all thought as a random, I mean, I said it and people bounced on it, but I said for a laugh, what if Jericho and Jay White both return in the gauntlet, but Jericho wins it? And does a New Japan, Canada, Mexico retirement tour as the Painmaker, and he drops the belt in his last match. Because we don't need WWE return, let's be real, we don't need Jericho and WWE unless he wants to do a Hall of Fame moment.
Yeah, I think he wants. I'd love to see him put, because he's such a great, like, he's stale in AEW to me. And
Y2 Grande for a joke.
Yeah, he could literally put over so many other talent just by his voice in WWE. I think that, and they would limit, and I mean, yeah, but like I would limit. I think what Tony Khan doesn't do, what Jericho and didn't do, is limit his exposure because he didn't build up or have enough stars, whatever reason. They're on the mic to keep him in. So he tried to keep Jericho like on commentary, and it was too much. WWE has enough stars that they can segment him out to a 15-minute clip on Raw, SmackDown, wherever, and that he could be super beneficial in that capacity.
I see your point, but I also think in a different way that also ruins Jericho as well. Because if you think about it, Jericho, like in so many ways, Jericho captures the moment from the minute he appears. Like there's not many people who have that ability. I mean, if you look at the entire pro wrestling, like there's a very rare few that from the minute you see them to the minute they bolt behind Gorilla, they've got your attention. Jericho is one of those instantly, whether you like what you've seen or whether you don't like it, you talk about it. You absolutely talk about it. So like, I feel like if you limit him to short amounts of time, I think that hurts his natural appeal. Even as a veteran, I still think that hurts his appeal. So I can see it. But I think 50 minutes isn't how you do it for him. But I see your thinking. I think you've always got to strike it.
There's a middle ground between what both of you are saying. Because I get what Nick's saying of like towards the end, like the learning tree and the vortex, and it was too much. Like early Inner Circle, early Pinnacle, like early Inner Circle, I loved early. Like
Paymaker Jericho and AEW was killing
that
it.
was good.
Yeah.
And then the longer it got on, it's like, okay, like the Ocho and this stuff. I'm like, I'm kind of like, again, like how I feel with like Jon Moxley right now. I was like,
Yes.
I forget how much I used to love you. Maybe just go take Renee out. Jericho, Renee, and Moxley can go on vacation for a little bit. Like, I'm good off my TV. But I'm thinking, like, if he shows up in WWE, when you hear that,
There's a song for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be such a pop. And how.
Like Rumble? Like make him number one at the Rumble? Or two? Whatever.
Because then you get the reaction of whoever's number one.
Yeah.
But I think it's the Cody pop, when like his music hit at Mania, we all lost our bananas. And I just feel like what Jericho has been saying and what Tony Khan said in the interview with Ariel Helwani, like, is there something not clicking between them anymore? And does Jericho just want to maybe do a lighter schedule, let me get my Hall of Fame ring, go back to WWE, where it seems to be so different? I wouldn't be surprised either way. To be honest, he can show up tomorrow or show up in January. Wouldn't be surprised either way.
It's a great point. I do agree as well with Catherine about like the reinventing himself too much. For me, when it comes to AEW Jericho, it's the only Jericho I want to remember in AEW is 2019 up to the 7 Sins of Jericho feud with MJF. Because I got my reuniting with Juventud Guerrero. I got all of that, and I'm like, that was the last great Jericho stuff. And I agree, he did so much, and you're like, dude, you had the perfect formula. And the minute after he teamed with Kenny Omega, it was gone. And I'm like, because he got stuck with the Don Callis shit as well that he had no business being a part of. And I'm like, there's some people who sit it, and there's some people who don't. I'm like, that's a painful example, but Catherine, that's a fair point though as well about the women. But to say that not enough, I disagree with you. Like, she has put enough in, but she's not being pushed. Like, Mercedes walked in because of what she is in the business. Tony Storm.
Well, they gave her like $4 million a year. Like, you knew that they were going to do something, so I guess they're gonna put her over that way.
You look at the names there. Like, Britt Baker sucks anyway. Thunder Rosa, null and void. She's useless.
Thunder Rosa.
Mercedes.
Oh, your R's, Reese. When you will respect her name and roll
not her. No, not someone who deliberately sandbagged on a pay-per-view. Not happening. Especially a pay-per-view I was at live. No chance.
Refute. I can't say that.
You can do it. Mercedes is a legitimate star, so she will walk in and you get expected. Tony Storm left WWE because of Charlotte Flair, and Megan Bayne is the hot new attraction. But I think Anna Jay has put the work in because she still got a serious injury. She went to Stardom when she didn't have to. She put the work in the Grand Prix and came back even better. and got nothing and still put the work in. So there's two sides to it. There's the side that she has to, could she have done more? Potentially, but I actually think she has, and you can see it. And the second is, are the creative behind it actually wanting to put her in that position?
That
And if they don't, fine. If they don't, then that's fine.
It might be Kat's Maxxine DUPRI situation, like or Joho. It's like the equivalent of, it's like, did she put in enough work? I don't know. It's an interesting.
We already put one title belt in the graveyard last week. Now the women's Intercontinental title is rest in peace. Like why on earth? Why on earth are we giving it to somebody who is too busy doing TikToks?
Kat is going at you.
She's on level with Megan Bain. I agree with Tony Storm and Mercedes, but she's on level with Megan Bain in the ring. Come on.
Can we take a step back? Who are you mad at doing TikToks instead of doing what?
Maxxine DUPRI, all she is a TikToker. We've seen this.
I know I don't have TikTok. I'm too old.
We've seen the segments. Oh, well, I only put on I only use it for my videos that I get from the actual live shows.
30-minute, 30-second dance with people, then she doesn't. I'm very much. I believe in give a bit of share.
I don't know if she's. Although there is one. There is one funny thing though. There is one funny thing about it.
I have a comparison.
I said this before. I think Reese Q came on because you were shitting on this too, and I think Joho was shitting on this too. What does she need to do? What would Maxxine need to do to prove to you that she deserves her spot? What would she need to do? Does she need to do like an open challenge and fuck up people every week?
No,
like,
I can.
Like a 30-minute workout video. Like what? What's not?
No, I can answer this one very, very simply. And when I look at her, I think of one word: valet. I don't personally see her as a wrestler. I see her as a valet. But what I will give credit for, where credit is due, is at least she's actually trying to work in the ring. She's at least trying to improve. I just don't have an interest to watch her, and
she's early stages Trish Stratus to me. Very, very infancy Trish. But here's a comparison that I will give. What if different levels? Let's just say all belts are equal, right? Not any level mid card or world title. But would you compare her to her first run as world champion of Carmella? Like the same level skill wise as Carmella?
That's a good question. Because even she was clunky in the ring.
Oh yeah, Carmella, that's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of how the way I view
I will agree with that. One thing that she does.
Well, who would you rate better? Here's a good question. Who and Nikki, what are your thoughts?
If you're asking me who to rate better to Maxxine DUPRI and Carmella, I rate Maxxine DUPRI better. I don't think, even though Carmella actually is second generation, I don't think Carmella cares about the business at all.
Well, I'm saying just like better in general, whether care again, as it is, but like to me. Mm-hmm. So we're in agreement. Yeah, I think Maxxine is better in the ring than Carmella was. So there is something to be said. It's an interesting topic because there's something to be said about Carmella. Carmella was in a time in an era where there was only one title for a woman to win. So now that you have the mid, so there was a couple people and it wasn't the Divas era, but where maybe
she would have suited that era perfectly. To be honest,
say again.
I think she actually would have suited that era a lot more. Not in a way because it's not because it's always a disrespect to women or anything like that. The reason why I say that is because just who she is as a person, her character envelope, it makes more sense to the Divas era. So I feel like that would have translated more for Carmella. Right. One thing that I do think Maxxine has though, and this is something I will actually praise on, besides the ability to actually try and go and improve, at least she's hungry. I'll give her that. At least she's hungry. I just don't think right now, when you look at the IC title where it's been held by Lyra Valkyria, who I'm on, Becky I'm legit on, I feel like you've gone from two different talents. why is it got to be Maxxine DUPRI right now?
Right.
Not like that's my only thing. It's not to disparage her. It's just why right now, when I think there's actually other talents there that would have been a more natural follow up. Then you get to Maxxine DUPRI. I feel like she's still got more to. I feel like she's still got more to learn, more to prove, and I think that's more of that level I'm looking for. Like that I'm looking for. I've yet to see her do enough established to do that, but I still can't deny someone who's at least trying to be better. Like unlike Jey Uso, I will praise Maxxine DUPRI for trying to be better. So she at least has those brownie points with me. But I still, she reminds me, this might sound very harsh, and I don't mean it to be, but she reminds me of Eva Marie, except she doesn't look like she wants to kill you with the sliced bread, but she does remind me of Eva Marie. I can see little things. Hear me out. I can see little things, but can I? Sweet Jesus, no. I can see. To be fair, some people see it, or I don't really. But when it comes to, I can see little things that remind me of Eva Marie in terms of like there were questions about ability, there was questions about the work ethic, there was questions of is she really interested at all. And then you put her in the ring and she had moments where you can see a spark, but then it faded. I don't want the Maxxine spark to fade. I want to see if she can go up and then tap out to Ivy Nile. You know, because
Give Ivy her props.
I still, like I said, I very much believe that we got to build the kids and give someone a chip in a chair. And I think he has that hunger, definitely a lot more than Eva Marie. And I want her to be like, fuck you, I'll show you.
Yeah.
That's what the young kids have to have. Like,
I put it in the chat earlier. I don't know if you saw it, but I put it in the chat earlier on where I actually think is a bold claim. I mean, it does kind of go against what I said about Maxxine DUPRI, but it's not against her in any shape or form. But I do think WWE are afraid to get behind the younger talent because they're not actually delivering the way that perhaps they would want to. That's why they keep going back to the part-timers and the older talent and the veterans and the billions of Samoans that keep floating in on time machines.
It's possible. I think the TKO influence is really big on that. I think that's got a lot to do with it.
Them plus who's in charge. Like everyone's got their favorites. Like that's a reality. Everyone's got their favorites, but at least there is one bonus. At least there's one bonus now that Maxxine DUPRI is the Intercontinental Champion. There is one bonus. It means I don't have to wish Becky Lynch to win matches. Oh wait, no, that thing's over. I don't care. I don't care.
Well, start this up before you know it.
Rage against the machine, or is it more in my case, rage against the ginger? But hey ho.
Reese, well, you don't have to worry about that. Reese, last shot before you get out of here.
The Nick Club Happy Hour is like a bottle of Pepsi Max. You buy it, you drink it, you want more. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, open up your bottle, drink the enjoyment, and laugh away as Nick tries to claim everyone gets buried whilst Nikki tells him he's wrong.
Fair enough.
Sir, relax. Sir,
you did the thing.
Reese and I always salute each other because we believe in something.
I
can't talk to say goodbye to Reese. I can't say goodbye
to you can learn the production side of things and do it on your own.
Oh, you can learn my foot up your butt.
Unbelievable. But that was a great
real
call.
ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
You knew I was going to get that one in.
Of course.
All right, Nikki. Last call.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
Steve. And Steve, I'm like, man, Steve. He's muted.
Steve.
This guy, he's been on the show how many times?
Love isn't always on time. Oh, oh, oh. Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. Oh, oh,
Steven?
I
Is he
did
back?
not mute my mic.
Apparently you did. Everyone's having technical difficulties tonight, but we're getting through it. Reese got it. The manatee stole your mic.
The manatees are not wrong to do so.
Fair enough.
Lordy, lordy, lordy.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking, Steve? Because Joe gave me some crap for not saying that to the regulars.
It is so good to be going into Thanksgiving week and not have to worry about seeing like a Thanksgiving street fight match or the gravy bowl match or whatever where the main gag is they get hit over the head with a turkey or they get thrown across the table and cranberry sauces all over them or they get a face full of sweet potatoes. And now I'm hungry from saying this, so I'm going to move on.
I know, you're getting me hungry. That's next week, Survivor Series.
Yeah. All right. Where to begin? Some I had left over from last week. If you're gonna heckle anybody, this is in reference to Nikki Bella, not from this past Raw, but from the Raw before. If you're gonna heckle anybody, A, please make sure it pertains to the storyline, and B, get your facts right.
Thank you.
I mean,
Wait,
come on, everybody.
Boston was chanting at her that like when John Cena left you, but she left John Cena.
Oh yeah,
correct. And it had nothing to do with the storyline anyway. So why even bother bringing it up?
Yeah.
But Boston got a Boston, so.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I mean, Jesus. And for what it's worth, just quickly about Jericho, take this for what it is, but Jericho's band is scheduled to be on tour in England and Scotland for most of the month of February.
Reese, where were you on this, Reese?
Yeah, he's playing Glasgow, so you have a chance to go see him.
Steven, I'm convinced that you have a second life as a booking agent or a manager of like either movie stars or like musical acts, because you seem to know all these schedules a little too well.
I would love to be able to be a tour booker because then the routing would make a whole lot more sense on some of these tours.
That's fair.
Just if you ever see how a lot of them like they crisscross or they have to go the length of half the country with all their tour gear and staging in like the space of a day and a half. Like they're playing like Maine and then 2 days later they're playing in like Wyoming. It's like like who came up with this? Oh gosh. Where else to go? I'll save the Maxxine stuff for last. So because I got some stuff to say about it. So I was listening to local sports radio here, WFAN, the Fan.
Ooh, yeah.
And one of the shows, I oddly enough, I forget which one of the shows. Not Mike and the Mad Dog anymore, that's for sure. But one of the shows had on a representative from AEW promoting Full Gear. Good seats still available, by the way, in scenic Newark. But who did they have on? They had on the Costco guys.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay. Now, I've never seen, I understand they're very popular YouTubers, probably, arguably AEW's answer to Logan Paul being in WWE. They're just there. Yeah, they're just there to bring the, however many millions of followers they have. Okay. So they're on the show. But I mean, does this not speak to the inability of AEW, I'm talking specifically about you, Tony, to grow any stars out of their group, with one exception, that they can't send these people, well, two exceptions now that I think about it, that they can't send these people out on any kind of a media tour where people would know who they were. I mean, the Costco guys, have this big following. And by the way, if that Rizzler kid, I don't advocate punching kids in the face, but but if I were, that might be a good place to start. I can't stand that friggin' kid on, whenever I see him on a commercial. Like, well, let's sign him up for a match between him and Brody Jr.
That's actually I
Brody Jr. will fuck him up.
Good, money well spent then. But anyway, like, Tony is treating these people like stars, but it seems like even he knows, or at least his media division knows, that if he sends Kenny Omega to the Fan, I mean, this is with the exception of maybe a couple of markets, like obviously Jacksonville, they're very local. Unless it's Mercedes, or maybe now you can use that argument on MJF, since he's getting movie work. He was in the Happy Gilmore sequel, etc.
I'm better than you.
Other than that, his top level wrestlers, why isn't he sending any of them to the Today Show or the Rich Eisen show or wherever? You think they're stars, but you're not treating them like stars away from your own TV shows. So which is it?
Which I think, because obviously Hangman's your champion. And I think Page, the person, again, meeting him very, very briefly that we did, but like, I think you can put him on a Today Show and have him talk.
But like, I think, well, and yeah, you put him on Today Show in like New York City, and like, people love country music and all that stuff. Like I think he could blend right into the whole.
But all the boys cover your ears. He's a good-looking boy. Watch him.
Yeah, he's your world champion, and if you put him on Good Morning America, nobody's going to know who the hell he is. But if you put, if it were Cody from 5 years ago, well, people knew who Cody was. People know who Cody is now. People knew back then who Jericho was and is. And so on and so forth. But you're not giving these people the exposure out in mainstream media, or even mainstream sports media. I understand ESPN is going to be closed off to you. That's fine. There are other sports networks, like Fox Sports 1 and so on.
It's a good point. I'm trying to think. Like, I think Hangman could do media and be the face, like. But yeah, like MJF. Aside from that, yeah, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like who's been in the world. Like, could you? No, I don't think you could throw like if he was champion, like Will Ospreay in a situation like that. Mox maybe. Maybe.
It's like, is MJF like? Is that the problem that they don't have like a northeastern New York person that you can default to MJF, or it could have been like someone like a Mike Santana? Like,
yeah, are we a little biased because we're in the Northeast and we're like, all right, we need like
you.
I think. Sorry, Stephen.
You need a face of the company to go out and represent AEW on all these national level shows, like the bigger shows, the morning talk shows. I almost said Regis and Kathy Lee, whoever hosts that show now. I don't know. I'm not watching TV at that hour, but whoever's on that show right now, Kathy or Kelly and her husband. I don't know.
Yes, Mark Consuelos.
Mark Consuelos. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. And some of them would probably do a pretty good job. Yeah, they would do well. But every time I turn around, if there's somebody, on one of these shows, there to represent AEW or plug a PLE coming up, 99 times out of 100, it's Tony.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that's more on a Tony thing, that he feels like he's got to be the face and be the owner and be out there, and maybe it's more like you don't know how to delegate? I'm a manager that doesn't know how to delegate. So it's just like you don't know how to, like, oh, you're better, you can do this thing much better than I can. Maybe you go do the thing. But I have my ego, so I should be out there.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, maybe it might even be heading in the direction of, selling more tickets. Oh no, we wouldn't want that. If you got some of your performers a little more mainstream exposure. Okay, people know who Mercedes Moné is. Maybe not too many of them know she's a wrestler, or maybe they know her under her old name. But I bet you a lot of people recognize her from The Mandalorian. So don't send her out by herself. Send Adam Page with her, or send I don't know, just pick one. Send Omega with her. Send them. Send a batch. Put one of them on Fallon. God forbid. But still.
Yeah.
Mercedes booked The Mandalorian off her episode of Hot Ones. So it wasn't even wrestling.
I didn't know. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Hot Ones. Really?
Oh, great. Steven,
Thursday.
I feel like you would actually really enjoy it.
With
because it's like,
questions and even powder wings.
yeah, like it's just like the guy's a really good host, and like he's got some like crazy questions.
Two off the bat. If you have not watched Hot Ones, there's the episode. They're old now, but the one with him and Paul Rudd is adorable. I fucking love Paul Rudd, and the one with him and Dave Grohl. Start with those two. If that doesn't wet your whistle.
The only specific episode I've heard about of Hot Ones was the one with Conan O'Brien.
I haven't seen it.
I did not.
You only made me see like 2 or 3 of them.
No, I've probably, besides like he has like random like rappers on that I don't necessarily watch. I didn't watch. He had Ice Spice on. I don't know who the fuck that is. And I watched him with the guy from the Lakers. I'm gonna say his name wrong. Dober.
Who?
The white dude from the Lakers.
I have no idea.
Luka Doncic?
Yes.
Oh,
he had him on.
You were way off. Samsonite.
Dull of the bucket of rocks.
Yeah, he seems.
He had
like
no personality on that show. But I would do Paul Rudd, Dave Grohl. I really like the one of him and Bill Murray was fun. He just did Woody Harrelson. Winona Ryder just came out yesterday. I haven't watched it yet. Again, the ones Stevens, he did one with Taker. He did one with Austin. He did Mercedes Moné. There's again the Murray one he worked with Mercedes. There's one more other wrestling person that's not. Ooh,
yeah, no, we're getting some feedback. Steve, before we let you get out of here, we expect you tomorrow for the AEW show. We got a lot more to share, but what is your last shot?
All right, Maxxine.
Oh, baby. We might need to.
I'll be brief. I'll try to be brief anyway. I look at it this way. Look, she's obviously serious about her craft. I mean, she's training in the revived dungeon, for crying out loud. I mean, with the rep that it has. I mean, if that's not, seriousness and dedication, I don't know what is. But I look at it this way. I mean, yeah, she could have started as a valet, and we know she got off to a terrible start on TV. But remember that, and not to say she'll ever be this good. I mean, who knows? But remember that Trish Stratus started out as valet,
right?
And when she started wrestling on a regular basis, she wasn't very good. Obviously, she got better and better and better. Liv Morgan, when she was first called up to the main roster, wasn't that good. I remember there was a small stretch where Candice Michelle came back from an injury, and all of a sudden she was really showing some improvement in the ring, and that didn't last very long because she got hurt again and disappeared. But now is Maxxine ever going to get to the level of where Trish ended up or where Liv is now? Because that pop Liv's going to get upon her return at the Rumble. Although some say she'll be there next weekend. Who knows? Maybe not. Should they have given Maxxine the belt or any belt now? Probably not. Maybe it would have been better to just have her give, as kick-ass a match as she could possibly give in the ring with, Becky carrying her, of course. I think it was more about the having the, that's their thing now, having the moment, not, having the moment. And the moment was this big upset in Madison Square Garden and having the big pop. She's not going to have it. I'm sure she's not going to have the belt long. I'm sure somebody else is going to have it by the end of the year. I wouldn't get all riled up about this. And it'll be somebody a little more experienced and a little more well-rounded in the ring. Not Ivy Nile, sadly, but although she'll come back from her exile and main event. But let's just be patient. The same with Maxxine, the same way we were with Trish, the same way we were with Liv, all about the gradual improvement. And if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. But she should be afforded the same opportunity for growth that anybody else would appreciate that we gave them.
That's fair.
I agree 1,000%. I was praising it all night, but I feel like you put it very
In a very, very eloquent way.
as you always do, Steven.
Steve, well put. Pleasure as always having you. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW. That'll be a fun one, Steven. I'm
Happy Thanksgiving from the Manatees.
Ladies and gentlemen. Another great call from Steve. Regulars taking us out. Nikki, we are back here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is, 3 hours before AEW Full Gear pre-show starts? Yeah. So, Reese, Steven, regulars, AEW regulars. Kat, I know, Kat, you didn't call in tonight, but tomorrow is your time. You made your debut. Now you got to follow it up. Tomorrow's your time to talk AEW. We are back here tomorrow, Nikki. So that'll be a fun one. 4 p.m. Eastern. Discussing all things AEW Full Gear live from our home state of New Jersey.
I know. Jersey's gonna Jersey.
Jersey is gonna Jersey. Oh, Kat's got the thumbs up. Kat, we're waiting for it. The feistiness. Let's go. Bring it tomorrow. Yeah, Kat never heard of Hot Ones, and that's a good one. So we just turned on Kat for that. And Kat, you're from North Carolina, so the you like barbecue and all that stuff that you should be all about.
The YouTube channel is called The First Week Feast, and it's Sean Evans, who's a sweet little pickle baby, basically interviews celebrities while eating very increasingly hot chicken wings. And then some are super funny, and then some are kind of boring, and some are weird, and that's I don't know. I've been watching it since probably day one-ish.
Yeah, Nikki got me into it. It's surprisingly one of the few food shows that we watch that doesn't get me super hungry
because it's not they're eating because we're not spicy people.
Yeah, I know that's why.
I probably can get to the second wing and cry. I'm so not a spicy person.
I don't know how people do that. You spicy weird people. Scenic New York first. Route 21.
That's why I feel bad. Like people fly into like Newark.
I
and
know,
then
they
leave
get the
Newark and they're
worst
like,
impression.
"Fuck New Jersey." I was like, no, but it's
Like,
like
this is a
pretty if
terrible
you
state.
leave. Like if you go like a half
5
hour,
minutes outside of Newark.
If you literally go like a half hour to our house,
Well, maybe like 10 minutes outside.
you see that there's trees and lawns and farms and pretty.
Mm.
We are the Garden State for a reason.
Yeah.
Like we do grow shit here. Just get out of Newark.
All right, Nikki, let's let Triple H take us out like he always does. We are back here again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time for AEW. So make sure you smash that bell, get the notifications, and you're back here. Kat, Reese, Steven, all AEW folks. Josh, if you're out there.
I know.
Turn it on.
I hope he wasn't because I want.
No, you didn't say?
No, because he was very.
I know.
Like
the follow-up. He was all about the follow-up.
oh yeah. But I want to see what he has to say. So Josh, I'm thinking about you, babe.
Yeah. Let's let Triple H take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight, Nikki. Another night without incident. Let's go.
Get it, girl.
But until next time, everyone else, you do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here. Goodbye.